What's up, friends? I'm just gonna try and take this old air conditioning unit out of my vintage trailer and replace it with a Fantastic fan or Maxxair fan style. This does not work any longer. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is get these knobs off. So you can pull them off. This one just came straight off. There's no retaining clip of any kind. So you just, like an old guitar, I don't know if you're familiar with that, just pop. This one I could not get off. I still haven't. I don't know if it's glued on there or what it is, but I'm gonna try and get around it. Okay, so if you got these knobs off, the next thing to do is to unscrew this plate. So this is just a plastic cover. It is not structural. And hopefully you have two hands free because it's gonna come down probably like that. all right. So you can see here I couldn't get this knob off. Wasn't committed enough to cut it, even though I could with a little grinder, but you see it, there's not much behind it. This is what it looks like behind there. It's just where the knob turns. Okay, so here's the look from underneath with the plastic guy off. Sorry, there were some little covers over the filters, 70 or 50-year-old air filters, and a little insulation that was in this piece here. Sorry, that fell out. So open it. All right, so you can see there's a connection here. I already unclipped, so it's just a clip. Just unclip that. And over here is the electrical side, so make sure all your AC is disconnected. May flip off the breakers. Okay, as you can see there, I have the air conditioning breaker off, and it's actually been off for a long time. So just reiterating this before you get to the wires. Okay, so there are bolts under here. Sorry, I already undid this one. And there are more. In this case, there are 3 total. So there's one in that corner, there's one in this corner, and then there's the one kind of in the middle here. So to give you a little perspective, it's the only bolts exposed under here, if that makes any sense. So this should be the 3 bolts. Once they're undone, like this one is, this whole piece should come down. Basically, this lower portion and the upper portion on the outside roof of your RV should be, they're clamshelled together. They're clamped by these bolts that go all the way through and hold it, basically, right? So once these corner bolts here are loosened and taken out, this will come down. So make sure you got your 2 hands ready, maybe a second person while you ratchet that down. I have my handy dandy electric ratchet here, so that's coming out on this one here. You can see there that one. All right, so I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, but you get the point. It's lowering down already. You can see it. All right, you get the point. So that's going to come down here. So this is the actual duct. This is where the air comes out if it was working. Be blowing down through there. All right, so you can see I've got 2 of the 3 bolts down. So now you can see that last one remaining. I got to get that down. There's the duct I was referring to. So that's actually the bottom of the top unit. This is on the top of the roof. I'm reaching through. If this was gone, that'd be air right there. So that's the bottom of it, right? The big unit on the roof. All right, so this is the upper portion of that unit, you know, from the interior side. And then you look up here, you see that's still attached to the AC power. I got to cut that But don't cut these if you're going to reuse it. Definitely take it apart here if you're going to attach just a new air conditioning unit. Because this could be swapped out for a modern one. This is, I measured it, this is a 14-inch by 14-inch square, which is still the modern size of fans and mini air conditioning units, I believe. So for RVs, it's a very standard size. All these years later, still doing things in the same manner. So as you can see, like I said, there's the underneath of the top. So this is the top of the RV roof right there, and this is sitting on it, right? So you can see here, that's the roof. This is the top. There's the liner. A little tiny insulation. So funny. All right. Okay, so before you start pushing on this or reach your hand into there, you know, make sure there's no spiders or something crazy, snakes. No, I don't know. There's a lot of holes. You know that this is where the air is returning. You know, the input and output of the air return and the output of the cold air are both here. So just watch out for that. So when you get to these wires, you don't want to be cutting on something that's got 120 volts behind it, that's for sure. But I know this does not. Or it'll be interesting for YouTube. Okay. Okay. There's one. And like I said, you're going to want to open this up and take these off slow in a different manner probably if you're going to reuse the cabling. Alright, I got those cables cut without incident. Just need both hands. Okay, so now everything is undone from underneath. You can either start pushing on it, see if it moves at all. That is a potential, depending on your situation, how old your rig is, how dilapidated it is. Mine definitely has some old water damage, but it's not all water damaged. Alright, it's not as bad as I thought it might be. In fact, in the front here, it's only a little here. So that's semi-encouraging. This entire thing is not rotted out, just partially. So if it doesn't budge, you might want to go check on the roof, see if there's any more bolts holding it from above. And or you might need to have one person pushing from below and one person pulling from above. See if you get some traction that way. Alright, so here I am at my rooftop portion of the air conditioning unit. And be careful when you walk, of course. Try and step on the cross beams. Alright, so I gave this a little pull. I wasn't really sure if there were extra bolts somewhere holding this in or screws or anything, but gave it a couple pulls and apparently not. So, as you can see, this thing was shockingly still semi-watertight. I don't know how. And not dripping in particularly through that spot. I've had water come through other portions of the roof, but not by the air conditioning unit that I know of. Not that I was present for anyway, that we could see evidence of. Alright, well, there you have it. Alright, so this upper portion is very heavy, so make sure you take it easy, make sure you have someone else around to help you get it down. You know, don't hurt yourself, just take it slow. It's heavy and it's awkward, you know, especially since you can't necessarily get the same leverage you would if you were on solid ground. That's the whole thing. Like I said, I was reaching up from underneath and just tapping on this. Okay, so you can see that this gasket is intact and just kind of all came out at once. A lot of people seem to have problems and need to do a lot of work to scrape up the gasket area. Apparently I won't have that problem, so that's nice, but your mileage may vary.